Hello students, in the last video I discussed various passive elements like resistance, inductance and capacitance. In this video lecture I will discuss a series and parallel combination of those passive elements. Series and parallel combinations. See, first I will discuss series combination of resistances, or I can say resistances in series. See, for a resistance, so this is called head of the resistance and this is called tail of the resistance. In case of series combination, the tail of the first resistance is connected to head of the second resistance. So similarly, the tail of the second resistance is connected to head of the third resistance. So this will continue up to n resistance. Assume that there are n number of resistances, R1, R2, R3 up to Rn. See, this series combination of these resistances, it can be reduced into a single equivalent resistance. So simply by adding these individual resistance values. So the equivalent resistance is sum of these individual resistances. So R1, R2 up to Rn. Or you can say, if the resistances are connected in series, to get equivalent resistance, simply I will add all these individual resistances. So one more important thing, for this series resistance is, for this series resistance, current through all the resistance is same. So for this series resistance, current is same in all the resistance. So just will write, I is same for all resistance. So similarly, this series resistance combination, this series resistance, it will act like voltage divider circuit. Suppose if I apply voltage V across this series combination of resistance, this series combination, it will act like voltage divider circuit. The total applied voltage, it is divided between these series resistances. Suppose voltage across this R1 is V1, voltage across this R2 is V2, voltage across this R3 is V3. So similarly, voltage across this Rn is Vn. Then the applied voltage V, it is sum of these. So these voltage drops V1, V2, V3 up to Vn. So next, resistances in parallel. So in case of resistances in parallel, here also I have n resistances. So we'll assume n resistances. So they are in parallel. So this is R3 up to Rn. So here, head of all these resistances, they are connected to one point, and tail of all these resistances, they are connected to one point. So this kind of combination is called as a parallel combination. In this case, the reciprocal of this equivalent resistance R equivalent is, it is reciprocal of sum of reciprocal of all these individual resistances. It is sum of 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 up to 1 by Rn. So reciprocal of equivalent resistance is, it is sum of reciprocal of these individual resistances. So one more important thing in case of this parallel resistance is, this parallel resistance, it will act like a current divider circuit. So if the total current is I, this total current I, it is divided between these individual resistances. Suppose current through this R1 is I1, current through this R2 is I2, current through this R3 is I3, and current through this Rn is In. Then the total current I, it is sum of these individual branch current I1, I2, up to In. So one more important thing is, for this parallel combination, if I apply voltage V. So this applied voltage, it will appear across all these, so these resistances. Voltage across this, all these resistances is same. Voltage across this R1, voltage across, so this R2, voltage across this R3, it is same as this applied voltage. Or I can say right here, so this voltage is same. So in conclusion I can say, so this series combination of resistances, so it will act like voltage divider circuit. So current is same for all the resistances, whereas for a parallel combination of resistance, so it will act like a current divider circuit, and voltage is so same, so for all these resistances. So next I will discuss, so one more important thing is, suppose if there are only two resistances connected in parallel, so like this, then you can easily calculate equivalent resistance by using this formula. So R equivalent in this case is, it is product of this R1 into R2. So this is simple way to calculate equivalent resistance if only two resistances are connected in parallel. So the equivalent resistance is, it is product R1 R2, so divided by R1 plus so R2. So this is applicable only when two resistances are connected in parallel. So if two resistances are connected in parallel, I can directly calculate equivalent resistance R equivalent. So by simply by multiplying R1 R2, so dividing it by so sum R1 plus so R2. So this is all about series and parallel combination of resistance. So next I will discuss series and parallel combination of inductors. Suppose I have so n number of inductors, so all are connected in series. So this is L1, so this is L2, so this is Ln. In this case, equivalent inductance is calculated like this. Equivalent inductance is, it is sum of so these individual inductances, L1 plus L2 plus L3 up to so Ln. So similarly, if inductances are connected in parallel, so I have n number of inductances so connected in parallel. So this is L1, L2, L3 up to Ln. In this case, a reciprocal of this equivalent inductance is, so it is so reciprocal of so sum of these individual inductances, 1 by L1, 1 by L2 up to so 1 by so Ln. So this is series and parallel inductances. So next I will discuss series and parallel combination of capacitors. See, for capacitor, for resistance and inductor, the concept is same. So but for capacitor the concept is different. So first I will discuss capacitors in series. So here have n capacitors so connected in series. So C1, C2, so C3 up to Cn. In this case, the equivalent capacitance, so Ceq is given by the equivalent capacitor is given by so reciprocal of this equivalent capacitor. So this is equal to so sum of these individual reciprocal of individual these capacitance, 1 by C1, 1 by C2 up to so 1 by so Cn. So similarly, if capacitors are, suppose only two capacitors are connected in series, then the shortcut to calculate this C equivalent directly is, so it is C1 C2 so divided by so C1 plus so C2. So this is capacitors in series. So next, suppose if capacitors are in parallel. So here I have n capacitors so connected so in so parallel like this. So this is C1, C2 so up to Cn. In this case, the equivalent capacitance is, so it is sum of all these individual capacitances, C1 plus C2 up to so Cn. Or I can say, if the capacitors are connected in parallel, equivalent capacitance is calculated simply by adding these individual capacitance values. So this is all about series and parallel combination of passive elements. So based on so I will give some assignment. You solve the assignment. These are basically a simple concept. You already studied in basic electrical engineering and in physics. I don't want to waste much time on this. We'll move to the next concept. See, next concept is so we have important concept, conventional current. So it is important concept. So conventional current. See, you know that the current flows only when there is a potential difference. If there is no potential difference, then there is no current. And you also know that current flows from higher potential to lower potential. So assume that we have a network. So you have one electrical network. So we'll take single resistance R. To this I have applied voltage V. So this is one electrical network. See, for this electrical network, so what I will assume is, so this positive terminal is at higher potential and this negative terminal is at lower potential, and you know that current flows from higher potential to lower potential. In this case, so for this network, the current is flowing so from this positive terminal of the battery to the negative terminal of the battery. Or I can say, so for this given electrical network, you take any electrical network. So for any electrical network outside the battery or for a passive element, so this positive polarity is applied here. So applied voltage here is plus, and this negative terminal is connected to this resistance. So this is minus, and current is for this passive elements. So current is flowing from so plus to minus, because I am assuming this is at higher potential and this is at lower potential, and current is flowing from higher potential to lower potential. This is simply my assumption. So nobody knows how current flows in the network. So this assumption was made so before the invention of electron. So during 18th century this assumption was made. So this is conventional way of defining the direction of current. I will write so outside the battery, or I can say for a passive elements, you take any passive element. For a passive element, so current flows from, or you can write outside the battery, or for a passive element current flows from so plus to minus. So but if you look at inside the battery, so basically current should follow the closed loop. So if you look at the inside the battery, so current is flowing from minus to plus. So current is flowing from lower potential to higher potential. Why? Because so it is the function of the battery. The function of the battery is it will supply the energy to this electron. It will pull this electron and it will place it on this higher potential. It will pull the electrons from the lower potential and it will so place this electron on higher potential. Or I can say inside the battery, so current flows from minus to plus. Inside the battery current flows from minus to plus. So in conclusion I can say, so conventional current outside the battery, it flows from plus to minus, or I can say for a passive elements it flows from plus to minus, but inside the battery so this current flows from minus to plus. So this is all about conventional current. So I will stop now. So in the next section I will discuss the one more concept. Thank you. Hello students, in this video lecture I will solve some problems on Ohm's law. So this is one given electrical network. In this electrical network the applied voltage is 10 volt and the resistance value is 5 ohm, and I have to find the current in the electrical network. So according to Ohm's law, so the current in a given electrical network I is, so it is V divided by applied voltage divided by resistance R. So here applied voltage is 10 volt and the resistance value is 5 ohm. So 10 divided by 5 is, so it is 2 amperes. So the current in a given network is 2 amperes. So this is so another network. So in this applied voltage is 12 volt. So resistance 2 ohm and 4 ohm. So they are connected in series. And for this given network, you have to find so current. So I. So from Ohm's law, so current in a given network is I is, so it is the total voltage V, so divided by so equivalent resistance R eq. So here applied voltage V is, so it is 12 volt, and equivalent resistance R eq is, so here so two resistances 2 ohm and 4 ohm, so they are connected in series. So if two resistances are connected in series, so equivalent resistance is, so it is addition of this, so these two resistances, so equivalent resistance is, so it is 2 plus 4. So the current is 12 divided by the equivalent resistance is 2 plus 4 is, so 6 ohm. So current is, so it is 2 amperes. So this is also one given network. So in this given electrical network, the applied voltage is 10 volt, and here 4 ohm resistance and 4 ohm resistance, they are connected in parallel. And for this given electrical network, I have to find so current I. So I know that, so according to Ohm's law, so current in a given network is, it is the total voltage V, so divided by equivalent resistance R eq. So in this case, so these two 4 ohm resistance and 4 ohm resistance, so they are connected in parallel. So the equivalent resistance is, applied voltage is 10, and this 4 ohm and this 4 ohm, they are connected in parallel. So if two resistances are connected in parallel, so equivalent resistance, so it can be calculated easily like this: this 4 into 4, so divided by so 4, so plus 4, so this is equal to so 10. So if I calculate this, so you will get equivalent resistance is 2 ohm, and the current in a given network is, so it is 5 amperes. So one more important thing here you have to notice is, in a parallel circuit, if two resistances are so connected in parallel, and so both have a same resistance, so then the equivalent resistance, it will be half of these so given resistances. So if it is 4 ohm, so 4 ohm and 4 ohm connected in parallel, the equivalent resistance will be 2 ohm. Suppose if 2 ohm and 2 ohm are connected in parallel, the equivalent resistance will be half of 2 is so 1 ohm. So in general I can say, so if so two resistances are connected in parallel, and if both are equal, so then the equivalent resistance will be half of this so resistance, it will be R by 2. So equivalent resistance is so R by 2. Hello students, in this video lecture I will discuss voltage division rule and current division rule. So first I will discuss voltage division rule. So this voltage division rule is applicable so when two resistances are connected in series. So in this given network, so two resistances R1 and R2, so they are connected in series, and applied voltage is V. So we know that, so when the resistances are connected in series, they will act like voltage divider circuit. So here, so this applied voltage V, so it is divided between this resistance R1 and R2. I can say the applied voltage V is, so it is so V1 plus so V2. And for this series resistance, so current is so same, only voltage is divided between so these two resistances. And this voltage division rule, it is used to find so these voltage across these resistances V1 and voltage across these resistances so V2. So according to this voltage division rule, so voltage across this first resistance R1, so V1, so it is given by, so it is applied voltage V, and the resistance of this branch R1, so divided by so sum of the resistance, so R1 plus so R2. So by using this formula, so I can easily find the voltage across this, so the first resistance. So similarly, the voltage across this second resistance R2, so it is given by so V2 equal to, so it is the applied voltage V into resistance of this branch R2, so divided by so sum of these so resistances R1 plus so R2. So by using this voltage division rule, I can easily find these so voltages V1 and these V2. So just I will solve one problem on this voltage division rule. So assume that I have so resistances so connected in series, two resistances connected in series. So here this resistance is 2 ohm and this resistance is 5 ohm, and the applied voltage is so 10 volt. So for this I have to calculate voltage across the first resistance V1 and voltage across the second resistance so V2. So just I will use so this voltage division rule. So to find voltage across this resistance 2 ohm and this resistance 5 ohm. So first I will calculate so voltage across this 2 ohm so V1. So voltage across this 2 ohm V1 is, it is applied voltage 10 into resistance of this branch 2 ohm, so divided by so sum of the resistance, so 2 plus so 5. So calculate this, so this will be 10 into 2 is 20, so divided by so 7 volt. So similarly, so to calculate so this voltage V2, voltage across 5 ohm, so it is, so the applied voltage V, so V is 10 volt, so applied voltage V is 10 volt into resistance of the branch is so 5 ohm, so divided by so sum of the resistance is, so it is 2 plus so 5. So this is 10 into 5 is 50, so divided by so 7. So if I add these voltages V1 and V2, so I will get the applied voltage so 10 volt, because this 10 volt is divided between so these two resistances. So just to add this, so this is 20 by 7, so plus so 50 by so 7, so LCM is 7, so this is 20 plus 50 is so 70, so this 7 into so 7 in 10 cents are 10, so this is equal to so 10 volt. So this is all about voltage division rule. So next I will discuss current division rule. Next I will discuss current division rule. So this current division rule is applicable so when so two resistances are connected in parallel, and this current division rule it is used to find the branch currents. So we know that the parallel combination of these resistances, so they will act like so current divider circuit. So in this given network, the applied voltage is V and the total current in the network is IT, and have two resistances R1 R2. So this total current IT, it is divided into so two branches, so one along I1 along R1 and I2 along so this R2. And this current division rule it is used to find so these branch currents, so I1 and I2. So first I will write the statement. So current in any branch, the statement of this current division rule is, so current in any branch, so current in any branch, so this is equal to the total current into so resistance of the other branch so divided by so sum of the resistances. So just to apply this formula so to this given network, suppose if you are finding so branch current I1, so current in branch R1 I1 is, so it is the total current IT, and the resistance of other branch, so for this is, so it is R2, so it is R2, so divided by so R1 plus so R2. So if you are calculating so current in so branch R1, I have to multiply resistance of the other branch so R2. So similarly, if you want to calculate so current in this branch I2, so current in this branch I2 is, so it is the total current IT into resistance of the other branch. So resistance of the other branch for this is R1, so it is R1, so divided by sum of the resistance R1 plus so R2. So this is all about so current division rule. And one more thing here is, so this total current IT, So it is sum of these branch current, so I1 plus so I2, because this parallel combination of this series resistance, so it will act like so current divider circuit, and the applied voltage V, so it is same for both these resistances R1 and R2. So just will solve one problem on this current division rule. So I have two resistances so connected in series. So here I will solve one problem on current division rule. So in this given network, so 2 ohm and 4 ohm, they are connected in parallel, and I have total current 6 amperes. So this total current 6 amperes, it is divided into two branch. So current I1 along 2 ohm resistance and current I2 along so this 4 ohm resistance. So for this I have to calculate these branch currents I1 and I2. So just to apply current division rule, so current in this branch 2 ohm, so I1 is, so it is the total current, so the total current is so 6 amperes into so resistance of the other branch. So for this 2 ohm, so resistance of the other branch is 4 ohm, so it is 4 ohm, so divided by so sum of the resistance, so it is 2 plus so 4, so 2 plus so 4, so this is equal to, if I calculate this, so this is 24, so divided by 6, so this will be so 4 amperes. So similarly we calculate so current in this so second branch I2, current through 4 ohm resistance. So current through so 4 ohm resistance I2 is, so it is the total current, so 6 amperes into resistance of the other branch. So for this 4 ohm resistance of the other branch is so 2 ohm, so this is 2, so divided by sum of the resistance in the parallel combination, so it is 2 plus so 4. So if I calculate this, so this is 12, so this is 4 plus 2 is 6, so this will be so 2 amperes. So just to add, so value of this I1 is so 4 amperes and value of this I2 is, so it is 2 amperes. So just to add this, so these branch currents, you will get the total current, so 6 amperes. So I have one more so problem here. So in this problem, just to look at this problem. So here I have 4 ohm and 4 ohm. So they are connected in parallel, and here they have not given the total current. So for this network, to apply current division rule, I require this total current. So first you find this total current, so by using the Ohm's law, so they have given the total voltage 10 volt, and they have given the so resistance. I will solve one more problem on current division rule. So in this given network, so this 4 ohm and 4 ohm, they are connected in parallel, and applied voltage is 10 volt, and here they have not given the total current IT in the network. So for this network I have to find the branch currents, so I1 and I2. See, to apply current division rule, I require this total current IT. So first you calculate the total current IT using Ohm's law. So then you can apply current division rule to find these branch currents I1 and I2. So first you find the total current present in a given network. So the total current IT, so by using Ohm's law, it is total voltage, so divided by so R equivalent. So here total voltage is 10 volt, so equivalent resistance is, so here 4 ohm and 4 ohm, they are connected in parallel. So this is 4 into 4, so divided by 4 plus 4. So in parallel combination, if two resistances are equal, so then the equivalent resistance will be half of this. So equivalent resistance is 2. So this is, the total current is so 5 amperes. So this total current 5 amperes, so it is divided into two branch. So I1 along this 4 ohm and I2 along this 4 ohm. So calculate this branch current I1 using current division rule. So current division rule I1 is, so it is the total current, so 5 amperes into resistance of the other branch. For this 4 is this 4, so divided by, so sum of the resistance is 4 plus 4. If I calculate this, you will get 2.5 amperes. So similarly, if I calculate current in this branch I2, so this is the total current, so 5 ohm, resistance of the other branch is 4 ohm, so it is 4 plus 4, so you will get so 2.5 amperes. So here in the parallel combination, so both these resistances are equal. So this total current, so 5 amperes, so it is equally divided between so these so two resistances.